So I'm standing here with Tim Gore, who's the Climate Change Policy Advisor at OXFAM. Tim, what's the reaction to the new text that have just come out in the last couple of hours?
Well, I think people are pleasantly surprised, and you can see that from the sort of atmosphere around the corridors. It is better than expected, and it does, I think, offer a lifeline that these talks can end today with a decision which actually gives real hope that the world is moving forward in the fight against climate change. Now, it's not everything that's needed, but there are some significant steps forward. On the mitigation side of things, they've brought in the pledges which were made after Copenhagen and set a floor under them, and charted a path forward to increase their ambition in line with what the science requires. So that's really important. There are some question marks over the compliance mechanism. It doesn't seem immediately clear how the decision will actually ensure that those targets are really met and that the emission cuts are really made. On the finance side, some good news that the fund under this text will be established here in Cancun and a fair process launched to design its finer details and get that operational as soon as possible. The good news there again is that they are taking consideration of the need to address what we call the adaptation gap, not as strongly as we would like. We would like to see 50% of the resources in the new fund guaranteed for adaptation, but they are showing this text does show the need to at least address that problem and take consideration of the need to ensure balance between adaptation and mitigation. A couple of bad points on the finance are the gender reference which we saw come into the text in the last week or so, ensuring that women had a strong say in how the money was spent. That's come out, so that needs to go back in the next few hours. And there is a bit of a question mark over where this money is going to come from over the long term to fill the new fund. So some of the reference we had to looking at long-term sources of finance has come out. So there's still a bit of work to do, and hopefully in the next couple of hours, as parties get a chance to sit down with the text and then come back to agree its final details, we can see some of those improvements made, and everyone can leave here before the early hours of the morning with a text which at least shows that some real progress was made here in Cancun.
And are you expecting that to happen? Do you think this text is going to be go to the plenary hall and we're going to see countries react positively to it?
Well, I mean, I don't want to second guess the plenary. Clearly there will be things in here which parties are happy with. There'll be things in here which some parties are unhappy with, and that's sometimes the nature of compromise. It isn't everything that's needed to be in the fight against climate change. I mean, that's clear, but it does offer some hope that parties are seriously getting together and taking real decisions, some of which are going to deliver for poor people, like the establishment of a fair climate fund. So we'll wait and see the plenary. There will be some areas that still need to be strengthened further, but hopefully those concerns can be addressed in a way which allows this process to reach agreement in Cancun and to move forward over the next year to increase efforts of the world actually to tackle climate change.
Tim, thanks very much.